I'm going to tell you a quick story about Doug. Doug had a very successful business. In fact, he had grown his business to a valuation of right around $15 million. And Doug thought, that's plenty of money. I don't need to do any planning. If I get a check for $15 million, I can ride off into the sunset, accomplish my goals, my dreams, and be able to have the lifestyle that I want. So Doug went down the process of selling his company. Super excited. He got to the closing table. They closed the deal. He was looking for that $15 million check, and all he got was $7.5 million. You see, what Doug didn't realize is that the sale that he did of the business was only half upfront in cash. The other half was on a 3-year earnout. And this 3-year earnout was essentially set with targets that were so high, the chances of Doug being able to achieve those targets to get the remaining earnout was going to be virtually impossible. So on top of that, when Doug sat down, he said, that's fine, $7.5 million, I can make that work. But at the end of the year, he got a nice tax bill. And that tax bill was roughly right around $3 million. So at the end of the day, Doug walked away with $4.5 million. He said, no problem, I can still make that work. There's just a few vacations that we won't be able to take, and maybe we won't be able to buy that second home that we were looking forward to doing. But I'm okay, my lifestyle is fairly modest, no problem. What Doug didn't realize is that he was only 58 years old. And so when he finally sat down with a financial planner to make sure this time that he was going to be able to have the right lifestyle, to have the right planning in place to generate income, Doug quickly figured out that $4.5 million was not going to be enough. In fact, in this plan, Doug would actually run out of money before he even hit age 80. So immediately, the financial planner and Doug had to sit down and start cutting certain expenses from the plan that he had built. And on top of that, he didn't hit the earnout. So 3 years later, that's $7.5 million that he was banking on out the window. He was left at the end of the day with only $4 million. So this is a great example of why it's so important that you need to understand what your number is and to make sure that you work with the right advisor so that that $15 million doesn't turn into $4 million.